All right, Danielle, congratulations. Obviously, I'm sure you're feeling great to be home. How does it feel to be back on the hill?
It is just a tremendous feeling, a feeling that leaves me speechless most of the time. But I get emotional thinking about just all the memories that I've built there and the memories that I'm going to build moving forward. So
Yeah, what are you doing right now? Are you moving?
I am on my way to Chicago to go and play Athletes Unlimited
Oh,
Champs. So
oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, when it came to this decision, I'm sure it was a no-brainer. Or maybe I'm just assuming that. How tough was it to make a decision like this?
well, I think that because it was so tough to leave Georgia, a place where it's so far away from home, where we really only had the staff members to rely on for our friendships and our relationships, it was extremely sad to leave. I cried telling Tony and some of the other coaches and the girls, and which just makes me know, looking back at it, even though how hard it was worth it. I wouldn't have changed the thing that I did there and how I poured my heart into that program too. So,
Yeah. What was it like hearing Hog Call in a Georgia uniform, Georgia gear?
well, the first two games, things are going our way pretty well. So it wasn't too many hug calls, but it just the last day when they had walked us off, it was, I mean, reminiscing in those same feelings and being able to see a group of fans just celebrate women and celebrate softball. It was just fun to see it continue.
Yeah. Some of these girls you coached with, what was it coached with, played with? What was it like coaching against them?
Um,
I'm
gosh,
sure, I'm sure it was a weird feeling.
it kind of broke my heart a little bit. But I'm just as competitive as I would be if we were playing a competition in practice, like how we would constantly be so competitive against each other. It kind of felt like that outside of the Georgia Arkansas thing. It just felt like I was playing a game against them, in a scrimmage or a practice setting when I was a player.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, I'm just going to give you a second to see if we reload a little bit. Oh, perfect. Awesome. All right. Connections there. Now, follow up question to that. You're going to be coaching girls you played with. Now, you were an upperclassman when they were an under. So I'm sure that there was a similar sort of relationship, but how's that going to feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's the question that I come back to over and over again. It is going to be tricky and it is going to be more challenging, and a huge reason why I was very hesitant to come back was because I knew that I was going to be interfering with some of those really good friendships that I had built. But if I kind of change my perspective on this, is like the girls, it is a temporary thing to play college sports, and so the girls come and go, and if I look at it as an opportunity for our relationship to get better, I just get more excited about being with them and being invested in them, and them knowing that I'm not here to relive my glory days. I'm here to, be their biggest fans, help them, see them grow. And that's what really gets me excited at the end of the day is just seeing them succeed and seeing them work so hard to succeed.
Yeah. Have you spoken with anybody like a Hannah or anybody like that about you coming back? I'm sure there's been something.
Yes, thankfully I've had most girls reach out and share their excitement, which makes me feel good. It makes me feel that, they did miss me, that I did something right in their lives and our relationships. So I'm excited to continue those and obviously be around Hannah again, where she's a really good friend of mine, and just see her grow and be a little bit of peace in her last year.
Yeah. Now, when you were back in those glory days, did you ever think that you'd be in the position that you're in today?
Not this soon, no. I knew that my end goal was to come and be back in Fayetteville and be on the hill and contributing in a different role than playing. But never did I think that this soon in my coaching career I would come back. And I questioned Coach Seifel many times. I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want me back on the hill, on the staff? You're not doing this because I'm an alum or anything. She just reassured me, we're ready for you. We're excited to have you back. And I just couldn't be more grateful.
Yeah. Is that what the majority of conversations with Coach Deifel are like right now?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, a couple weeks ago, I was like, I need you to be completely honest with me. I want you to be extremely blunt. I want you to be really transparent on how you see me fitting in a new role. I have to look out for me and my well-being, and supporting me and my husband, and getting us kind of with our feet underneath us, and starting our life. So it's really important to me to know that if I'm going to come somewhere, I'm going to be just as involved as I was at Georgia. And so that was reassuring for me. But now it's just having those good conversations of coaching philosophy, styles, getting to know them more as human beings instead of just like a player coach relationship. And so becoming friends, trusting each other, and kind of seeing what presses each other's buttons and what doesn't. So
Yeah, that's the trick of working with anybody.
totally.
Which goals back here in Fayetteville.
What was that? Sorry.
Do you have any personal goals? I'm not sure if there's like a benchmark that you want to see yourself at, but where do you see this new position taking you?
I mean, I'm going to be here for a little bit. This is
Yeah.
where my home has become and where my home is. And so I'd like to be able to be here, start a family, be able to build a name for myself in a really cool city, and in a city that we're fortunate enough to call home. Most college coaches don't necessarily get to do that. They start families and have to rely on staffs and friends and stuff to help with their children. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to be in a place where I have my in-laws, I've got family. And so that to me is really important, is the family part is number one in my opinion. But obviously this just builds my resume. Everyone wants to be Razorback, and to be able to coach at a really, really good school with an AD who invests in his coaches and his programs, and just a university in itself to have so much history and so much love for the sports and the athletics. It's it's a great resume maker, but I'm here to stay for a little bit.
Yeah, your husband's from Fayetteville?
He is from like in this area. He grew up in Northeast Oklahoma, just kind of past the state line, and so he's really only 50 minutes away, but grew up in the same area of like going to Siloam Springs, coming to Fayetteville, Rogers, all that. So it was a no-brainer for us.
I'm sure he's excited as well. What do you see your role being on the staff?
I think that my ability to connect and find compassion with the girls is really unique. I think that the fact that I'm young but can separate myself professionally with them is huge. But seeing myself in a more offensive minded role, working close with DJ Gasso, me and him are going to be kind of connected at the hip in all things that we do offensively. And I'm really excited for that and to learn with him. And then I also see myself kind of working really close with Coach Michael, Matt Michael. He is a statistical brain that I have learned most of my stat-minded thinking from, and so we kind of know how we work, and so getting to work with him in the infield. But I think the connector, compassionate, relationship builder is huge, and I think that is being able to relate to these girls, but also have that separation is kind of what I think that I did well at Georgia, that I hope that the girls felt like I did well. And so it's kind of my front goal is be there for them in any aspect, build them into be really good humans.
Yeah. And now last question I got for you. You weren't the only assistant brought on this summer. Do you know DJ Gasso at all?
I've known him for about a year. Obviously he has the connection to the, one of the biggest softball in America and in the world, but I think that what makes him unique is that he has his own ambitions and his own goals to be the person that he wants to become, to be the leader, to be an example to these girls. And that is what I'm most excited to work with and have a program to work and have those types of goals. I mean, he's smart, he knows the game, he studies it hard, he studies it well. And so that aspect is obviously me and him get along well just because we both love the offensive game. But we sat and talked for hours a couple days ago, and it was like, I just want to be a good role model for these women that, if they get married and they have husbands, I want to be able to be that example for them of like how to treat women and those sorts of things And so that for me is like, okay, this dude is legit, and he is salt of the earth, salt of the earth. So
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to meet him yet, but he seems like a really nice guy. So I'm excited for you. Congratulations
yes.
again. Thank you so much for reconnecting with us.